Hey man, it's raining. Big Boss, K-Po, talk boxing. Fuck about solidity. When the tough times don't last, can people do it or not? Shit. Call them in if I like them and be mad at them. Peak game metaphors of what's right. Cluster with cluster, I know we're talking about that boxing. Alright. You heard the audio. They talked about Abdullah Mason and how America don't appreciate their fighters. Right? Abdullah Mason has got a little bit of backlash since his victory against Sam Noakes. If y'all don't know, Abdullah Mason beat Sam Noakes on the 22nd. He's now the new WBO champion at 135 pounds. And, you know, he made the fight harder than what it needed to be. But he's faced some backlash over here. So these two, you know, media guys was like, if Abdullah Mason was a UK fighter, he would have had fans waiting for him at the airport, patting him on the back, fighting a fight like that, right? He said in America, they don't appreciate their fighters. And it's something I've been saying. Abdullah Mason, bro, is a good fighter. But in America, we do not appreciate our fighters, right? We disrespect them, bro. I'm just being real. And that's one thing that, like I say, what makes the UK support different is the UK support their fighters, win, lose, or draw, right? Whether they win, whether they lose, they support their fighters. They're gonna root for them. Whereas in America, you fight a close fight or you lose a fight, oh, you suck. You know what I'm saying? Ah, man, you suck, bro. And it's like, what? He sucked. Yeah, man, he trash, bro. Hey, man, he fought a close fight. Instead of being like, man, fought a close fight, you know, he figured it out and he won. Nah, man, he sucked. That's how it is here. You know what I'm saying? Or like, nowadays, we got emotional men. So you got dudes that be like, oh yeah, he won, but he can't beat this dude. You know what I mean? What's the name? Beat the brakes off of him. So it's just like, we don't respect our fighters, bro. You know what I mean? I agree with that. Abdullah Mason, yes, there's some things he need to work on. Yes, he made the fight harder than what it needed to be. I 1,000% agree with that. I'm not here to sit here and say that he did make it difficult. He did make the fight more difficult than what it needed to be. That's real talk, right? But at the end of the day, to keep it 1,000, keep the trio coming down, working with Will, it's like he's underappreciated. This dude went in there and fought a war. I felt like, me personally, he still won by a landslide. That's just my opinion. I think he won by at least 3 or 4 rounds, right? That's just my opinion, okay? Some people felt like it was closer. You know, they felt like he barely won. He hurt Sam Noakes like 4 times, right? In different rounds. Some rounds more than once. So I can't sit here and ignore that. I can't sit there and be like, oh, no, he hurt Sam Noakes multiple times. You know what I mean? And he landed the cleaner shots. He just was all around better, right? But he'll learn from this as far as like how he needs to fight certain guys and how he needs to, you know, take what the fighter gives him. Pause. You know what I mean? Like, truthfully, he could have stayed on the outside and outboxed Sam Noakes, but he chose to fight him. He said, let's get it, right? Because he liked the fight. And I don't see nothing wrong with that, bro. You know what I mean? Because a lot of fighters nowadays don't want to take that risk. And he like, I'm going to beat this dude at his own game. He want to apply pressure, bet, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to respect the fighter like that. You know what I'm saying? But Abdullah Mason, man, he got the talent to fight on the outside, and you know, I heard them on the broadcast trying to compare him to Sugar Ray Leonard, and man, he's Abdullah Mason, right? Abdullah Appetite for Smoke Mason. That's who he is. We need to stop comparing these fighters to legends, right? Because when you do that, you put a different level of expectation on them, right? Abdullah Mason is Abdullah Mason. Yes, we should have expectations for him, for Abdullah Mason, but not to the standard of a Sugar Ray Leonard and all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, they used to do that with, you know, you'll hear like broadcast, oh, Errol Spence, they say the next Floyd Mayweather, right? Which I don't know. Who said that? Who said that? What's broadcast? If you watch boxing and you watch the fights, you will hear these broadcasters say stupid stuff like that, right? Because Errol Spence don't fight like Floyd. But I'm just saying, that's what they said, right? They said it also to Tank. You know what I'm saying? So, they've said it about Devin. You know what I mean? So they've said it about multiple fighters. They said it about Shakur. You know what I mean? Recently. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that we need to stop comparing these fighters to legends, bro. You know what I mean? Let these fighters carve their own name in the history. Right? Like, that's just what it is. We can't keep comparing fighters to different fighters. You know, oh, and then try to say, well, can he beat him? Man, a lot of older fighters will beat all the fighters of today. It's only a few where I might be like, it's a 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of old school fighters will beat a lot of today's fighters. That's real talk. Because of the mindset they had, the hunger and the passion, the drive. They genuinely wanted to be great. And I say that in any sport, right? Like, the athletes today not hungry enough. That's just real talk. They not hungry enough. They don't got that drive, that passion. You know what I mean? Like fighters of yesteryear had. Fighters of yesteryear, they had a drive to be great because of the fact that, you know, they live in conditions, right? The fighters of today, you know, they coming into the game, a lot of them kind of already good. You know, they got a little bit of money. You know what I mean? They eat. The fighters of yesteryear, you know, they struggling. You know what I mean? So that make them more hungry. The athletes of yesteryear, that make them more hungry. These fighters today, or athletes today, a lot of them, they coming in, they second generation, you know, NFL, NBA, or even boxers, right? I mean, even look at Devin Haney. His dad didn't box, but his dad comes from, you know, the music world. You know what I'm saying? So his dad had money. So Devin came into boxing with money, right? Now, Devin Haney, I don't question his hunger because he's trying to carve his own little lane in boxing, right? And he's shown that, hey, I'm a professional athlete, you know, and he's done everything possible to show that. You know what I'm saying? He takes it seriously, right? But you got some fighters, they were hungry and then they got success and now they, you know, you kind of questioning their hunger. Like Tank, we're going to be real. I don't know if Tank hungry no more, right? He tasted success and it's kind of like, nah, he like, we've seen it with Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner come from the slums, you know what I mean? But as he got to the top, he just kind of, he wasn't hungry no more. He didn't have that drive, that passion no more. You know what I'm saying? He was taking fights to get big paydays after a while, right? Because he was blowing through his money, right? But I think that Abdullah Mason, man, will be a great fighter one day. He's young though. He only like 20, 21 years old. You know, he got a lot he got to figure out in the boxing game, right? Mentally. I think physically he there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I think physically he could compete with anybody in his weight class. And I'm just keeping that 1,000, right? Physically. But mentally, I feel like he got a lot he gotta learn. He gotta study and have that situational awareness when it comes down to boxing matchups. right? And what I mean by having that situational awareness is just understanding, like, okay, this is my time where I need to press the gas in a fight. This is the time where I need to taper off, kind of take a lap, box a little bit, use my jab, keep my head offline. You know what I mean? Just having situational awareness in fights to where when it's time to cut it up, okay, it's time to cut it up, right? Like, prime example, he had Sam Noakes hurt in a fight, okay? I think it was when he had him real hurt. I think it was around, I forgot what round it was. It was a round in the fight, he had Noakes real hurt, and he cut it up. But his shot selection, in my opinion, wasn't the best, right? I think if he would have doubled down on the body and really just doubled down on the body, he could have got Sam Noakes out of there. Because Sam Noakes, he hard-headed. And when I mean hard-headed, he one of them guys, you're not going to knock him out to the face. Pause. Right? You gotta like, catch him flush, where you rattle that jaw. You know what I mean? Or hit that equilibrium. Other than that, you hitting him with tempo shots like here, he ain't going down off of that. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like a dude like him who was very, very intelligent as far as having an understanding of, okay, right here, I'm gonna look to, I'm gonna stand on my 10. You know, I'm gonna stand my ground. I think him embracing for those shots, because I think also Abdullah Mason wasn't switching up the pace and how can I say this? Not the hardness, pause, but switching up the pace, tempo, and as far as differentiating from hard shots to, you know, it's kind of teeter-totter shots. You know what I mean? I feel like once he got him hurt, every shot was a hard shot. And Sam Noakes was able to brace for that. You know what I'm saying? I think he knew, like, okay, this dude gonna come with a hard shot every time, you know, when I get hurt. So I just need to brace for it. So, I don't know. I think he still got a lot he got to learn. You know what I mean? He's a good young fighter. I applaud him for his, you know, intellect and, you know, him being a young champion. You know what I mean? I don't think that was in the plans for Top Rank. But once Keyshawn Davis messed up his opportunity, I felt like that's when, you know, they was like, look, we gotta do something, right? So I think that's when they fast-tracked Abdullah Mason. So now he a champion. Let's see what they do. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know what y'all think. Sounds good.